Hi there Aries, how are you guys doing? I really hope that this video finds you well. Welcome to your weekly reading. Back with me again, Anisa from Lunar Stereo. So we're going to be doing things like a little bit differently this time because we're going to do a pick card reading by the end of the session. Don't forget to check your Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus sign. And because it's a general reading, so the rules might get reversed. And we're also doing a one-person scenarios and also two people scenarios too, all right? The two people scenarios are going to be at the second session of the reading. So let's talk now, Aries. Your overall energy for the now, you have the Two of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Wands, and you also have the Knight of Cups. You guys really wanted to get going in life because you feel that you want to be adventurous, you just want to keep it moving, you really want to enjoy and experience all of the things, and there's like a little bit of things that kind of like keep you indecisive at this very moment with that Two of Pentacles in here. You might be comparing two different people at the same time, or it could be that you're kind of like quite unsure about how you feel about a certain relationship of yours if you guys are dating one person, but instead of harboring on that feeling and wasting your time trying to make a decision, you just wants to enjoy life for what it is. Let's see what happens in the present moment, but like this is a good energy though. Knight of Wands, Knight of Cups is a very forward moving knight. If you've been feeling like a little bit antisocial, or you've been feeling very under the weather last week, I think this week things are going to change for the better. So what is the overall challenge for your relationship? You have a Page of Pentacles and you also have a Six of Pentacles. So one person in this relationship is feeling that they are being taken advantages of because they feel that there is an unequal give and take happening in this relationship. And then the second one is you got the Page of Pentacles. One person is kind of like a little bit skeptical into giving their pentacles because they feel that the other person is not worthy, or they're undermining the other person. So this could be you doing this to them, this could be them doing this to you. Okay, but there is like that Page of Pentacles give me like somebody who's like undermining another person, you know what I mean? Six of Wands. Oh, they took a giant leap of faith with you in the past simply because it feels good for them. They really followed their emotions and they went all in. And something about you, going out with you or dating you or having a relationship with you gives them the satisfaction on an ego level. So it increases their self-esteem. You boost their self-esteem almost. But at what cost? You're hurt. So them seeing you hurt, it makes them feel good. Four of Wands. But you're still holding on to this. It's like your soul has been tied together. You're still believing at the idea of this Ten of Pentacles. But you are hurting there. And when you are hurting, they feel so good about it. Maybe they like it because they were trying to do things to get a reactions out of you. And when you were hurting, they were like, yeah. Something like that. Let me look at the massage. Eight of Swords. Oh, now I think the table has turned. But Two of Cups. I think most of you might be dealing with two people though. Because if not, then this is so bipolar. But now, you've kind of like included things on your own, You detach yourself away from your relationship, especially if you guys are dealing with one person. You detach yourself away from your relationship and you became an Empress. Empress is receptive, right? It's not like Emperor, they go get something. Empress is receptive. It kind of like reminds me of this movie in Netflix. It calls Apostle, if I remember correctly. So there is this goddess that if you fed it with blood, then she will give you like a lot of crops. She will give you like with kettles and sustenance and food and everything like that, but only if you give her something. So I think this is your energy for the now. If they were to give you something, you would give them something back in return that is nourishing for them, that is good for them. So now you're taking on like into a more passive stance. You're much more grounded in a way that you feel and you think in your relationship sector. And this comes to them as a shock, you know what I mean? Now you became a lot more calculative than you were before. If you give me that much, then I'm going to give you that much. And they're stressing out. Why? Because the game that they were playing way back in the past when you were hurting, they feel good about themselves, is over. And now they're like, oh no, what am I supposed to do about this? They still love you, though, but it's just that they have problems of like communicating and getting into the point, and sometimes these kind of things frustrate fire signs like us. I'm a Sagittarius. I have a problem with reading between the lines, and I believe you do too. That means 5 cards in the future. 8 of Wands, Four of Pentacles. See, this is so, it's like hot and cold, dude. It's like extremely hot and cold. This is confusing. You must be confused. We'll see the advice in the pick a card reading, right? I won't give advice in the now because this is a general reading, obviously, so it's not a one size fit all. But what I can tell you here is that, even in the future, they're going to come in really, really hot towards you. Like in the now, they're a little bit frustrated and confused because you were not as active as you guys were before. You were not as passionate. You were not chasing. You're not approaching as you guys before. You guys are much more calculating. So in the future, they're going to kind of wanting to bait you with something. So they come in hot, and then you're going to feel good about yourself because, it's like you're resurrecting yourself. Something just happens to always lead you back to them for some reason. You're coming back to them. And then when you come back to them, that's when they go cold with the Four of Pentacles in here. That's when they're hiding and being stingy with their resources again, in which you're going to be extremely frustrated about it because it's like they're baiting you. You come back to them and then okay, I'm going to stop doing this. And then you're going to be frustrated. So I kind of like see frustrations coming up from your part and you guys feeling that you guys have been played because of the mixed messages that this person is sending you. So let's see the pick a card, yeah? Whether you should take the bait or not. Because this is just like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just something about this relationship keep on leading you back to them. It's just like a simple message, a simple hi, a simple thing. One minor changes, and you're like, coming back to you. I'm not making fun of you guys, all right? Let's just see the pick card reading, okay? So that's if you guys are dealing with one person. I'm going to put a timestamp right over here. So when the pick a card reading starts, all right? So now let's move on to the 2 people scenarios. Meaning that if you guys are only doing one person, you could just like move ahead to the pick card reading. So person A is somebody who take a victory over or at a cost of your hurt. So this person hurt you so much but the fact that you are hurting, the fact that they know that you guys are hurting, make them feel so good about themselves. It's like, whoa, I made Aries hurt. Whoa, I win. Something like that. And then now you guys are much more calculating with this person. And then this person now is like, oh wow, like Aries now is not giving me any time on the day. He or she is not giving me any time on the day. He or she is not getting smarter. Aries is no longer, pursuing me or no longer falling traps into my games all the time and everything like that. So what happens in the future is that then this person knows that the old trick that they're playing you with is no longer working, and then they're going to try to do something to you. So it's either a simple hi or them trying to find out what you're up to and making sure that your friend tells you that they're looking for you or something like that. that's going to hinder or delay your resurrection process where you needed to conclude things on your own. It's going to delay that, so be careful about that, all right? Just a simple information, a simple message is going to make you like the Five of Cups again. Make you mourn over them or miss them or what have you. So that's with person A. Person B is somebody who took a giant leap of faith with you guys, Aries. And with this person, you finally kind of like find that, oh wow, I'm speaking with somebody who has almost the same approach to life. The friendship aspect of this relationship is very, very good as well, because you see them as your equal. You see that this person has a perspective in life kind of similar to with you and all that. But with them, you're not that passionate. You know, the way that you approach them is much more the Empress. So Empress, again, is very receiving, and then if you give them something, then if they give you something, then you will kind of like give back to them in return. Probably 100% fold and all of those stuff. But this person wanted you to do more, you know. They want you to not just be a receptive partner, but like do something more. So I see that in the future, this person might, you know, hide back their resources, or maybe like pull back just a little bit just to see how you guys react, because they wanted you to do something, and instead of communicating it, they decided to just play games. So in the future, you guys are going to be like a little bit frustrated about that, and you're going to call them out on their bullshit. I can see there here. All right, so I think that is it for my reading for you guys, and then now let's move forward to the big card reading. All right, so I have pre-selected 4 piles of cards for you guys, and I'm going to be giving you 20 seconds of silence that you guys could concentrate. And please, as much as you can, you know, try to pick only 1 pile of cards so you guys don't end up getting confused, all right? So this is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. All right, so now for those of you who chose pile number 1, you have the Fool card, you have the 7 of Cups, you have the Queen of Wands, and then you also have the 6 of Pentacles. So you guys are going to be, I mean, the Fool card, you probably have Uranus either in your 1st house, your 5th house, or 7th house transiting right now. And it talks about breaking free. It talks about rebelling or non-conforming at all. So you're embarking on a new journey, and there's no denying every time we're embarking on a new journey, you know, let's just use an analogy for this. Let's say, for instance, you guys have been in a prison for a few years, and then you get out. It's the whole new world in front of you, right? And you're kind of like confused about the options that you really, really want to choose. See, this Fool is facing so many options. So in regards to your relationship sector, I think it's really, really time for you to break away from it for a little bit, even just for a little bit, and kind of like nurture yourself like a little bit more, because the relationship that you have been having in the past, or maybe it still lingers on you in and now, has been dimming your fire a little bit. You know, maybe you have been through like an emotional or mental or like physical abuse. It kind of like dimmed down your fire, makes you doubt yourself. And now really is the right time for you to start nurturing that fire side again, you know, by reading like a lot of books, looking for new aspirations, joining like a community, focusing a lot on your hobbies, you know, a makeover, manicure, pedicure, a new haircut, or whatever that is. But things that makes you feel good, things that makes you feel like a god or a goddess, because you're going to be facing like a lot of options moving forward. Which areas of my life do I need to focus on? Do I need to focus on studies? Do I need to focus on love? Do I need to focus on properties? Do I need to focus on my family? Do I need to focus on traveling and everything like that? The idea is you focus on what makes you happy, what you have not been able to do when you were struggling with the relationship that you're trying to leave behind. Okay? In terms of the matter of the heart, the person that you were dealing with in the past is still going to haunt you. People who have made your self-esteem down will have a problem when they're seeing that your self-esteem is rising up. They want some of them again. You know what I mean? So don't focus much on love in the now. Try to compartmentalize everything. So this is my compartment for work. This is my compartment for my finance. This is my compartment for my family. This is my compartment for my friends. This is my compartment for love. So that if one areas of your life is having like a little bit of a problem, it won't take a monopoly. It won't take like a butterfly effect to all areas of your life too. Try to compartmentalize these things. All right. You need to focus a lot on yourself because you have so many options moving forward. Life is kind of like still offering you a lot here. So now let's move on to those of you who chose pile number 2. You have the Knight of Cups. You have the Page of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, the Emperor, and also the Queen of Swords. So the person that you're dealing with is going to come back to you with this Knight of Cups attitude. It could be a simple hi, it could be a promises, or it could be that they're going to look for you through your mutual friends or your family members, and they're going to make sure that that friend of yours or that family of yours is going to let you know that they've been looking for you. All right? And whatever it is that they're doing is going to make you extremely confused, because in the now, you haven't really made a decision as of yet. You're still standing on a crossroad. You're still weighing the pros and cons, whether I should leave or whether should I go. What should I do about this relationship? And it's going to make you extremely, extremely confused. You do know full well that if you were to come back to them, if you were to make a decision and try to come back to them or try to reconcile or try to, do something about this relationship, it's a long road ahead, right? It's a 10 of Wands. There's so many things that you need to do. There's so many unfinished business. There's so many burdens. There's so many obstacles ahead. Choose at your own risk. I mean, even though in this advice, it's really advising you to be extremely skeptic of it. With the Queen of Swords here, Queen of Swords is facing her opponent, her enemy, or even her advisors with her swords, meaning that you should not be too emotionally involved here in order to make a decisions. Don't make it a decisions based off of your feelings or your emotions, but use your level-headedness, use your logic, use your intelligence. You guys are very, very smart, I know. All right, do you want this? Do you want to do this? I mean, it's kind of like time for you to take control back of your life. Even if you want to do this, you need to establish boundaries and territories for this other person to not cross. It's up to you. This person is coming back. But please, do not be too emotionally driven when you're coming up to a decisions. And you also need to know that, you have boundaries. You have lines that cannot be crossed. You have a certain set of rules and regulations and laws in your life that other people needs to respect and follows it well. All right? So now let's move on to those of you who chose pile number 4. So you have the 9 of Cups, you have the 9 of Pentacles, you have the Star card, and you also have the Magician. So this tells me that right now is really not the good time for you to be focusing on love and relationship. And instead of doing so, you need to focus about you, yourself, what makes you happy. And you need to focus on your financial securities or even your career. How do you do that? Go traveling. Go traveling into the nature, maybe to the beaches, inhale fresh air, read some books, make some vision boards upon yourself, make some plans about what is it that you want to do in order for you to attain a more financial security for yourself. You need to focus a lot on your dreams and aspirations instead of love here, because you do actually have all elements that you needed to be successful and to be happy in your life, but you haven't been utilizing it that well. All right? So that is it if you guys chose pile number 3. It's very simple. Now let's move on to those of you who chose pile number 4. Sun card, 5 of Pentacles, the Hangman, and Page of Wands. So this person, when you guys were dealing with this person inspired you to the core. It's like everything was nicer when things were good with them, right? You kind of feel luckier, you feel more motivated, you feel more inspired. But that was short time, wasn't it? That was really short, wasn't it? Because then after that, you guys were in a state of 5 of Pentacles where you felt abandoned, neglected, cold, dry, out there, not being listened to, not being talked to, not being consulted to. and everything like that. So there's that switch from something that was extremely beneficial to something that was very detrimental. And you kind of like have been waiting because you were hoping that what was happening in the beginning happens again. But I kind of like see that not happening, Aries. Because the advice here is that, look, you're supposed to be done with your period of waiting. And as much as hard as, it may sound to you, you need to separate yourself from this person. Why? Because the salamander will never let you cross or meet this person again. And what is a salamander? Is your growth. The thing that you've learned. Five is a very significant number here. So you might be dealing with this person for 5 months or 5 years or 15 years. But 5 is very, very significant. But the idea is to just stop waiting around and just kind of like move away. Don't try to come back. Just because you're hoping that this will come back to you. This feeling. When everything was good, everything was good. They make you feel very, very ambitious. They make you very, very inspired. Nah, it's not going to happen again. All right? So I think that is it for my reading for you, Aries. I hope that you find tons and tons of clarity that you've been looking for. And I really do hope that you have a really great week ahead. All right? Bye-bye, guys. Have a great day. I love you.